To continue this example, let's calculate deadweight loss, or the decrease in total surplus, if we have a quantity of 6 exchanged in the market instead of a quantity of 8. This is similar to what we did when we were thinking about the sandwiches in the previous example, but the application is a little bit different now that we have the supply and demand curves. All right, so I've reproduced our graph down here. So if you want to take a second and do that, go ahead. But basically, we're going to assume that only 6 units are sold in this market. So the quantity that's traded in the market is 6. So we get, of course, some consumer surplus because some people are buying this good and they value that good quite highly. We get some producer surplus because these producers are allowed to sell the good for more than the cost of production. But you can see that's only going to go out, that benefit, the difference between our consumers' value and our producer's cost is only going to go out to a quantity of 6, right? We only get 6 trades now. So if we compare that to before, right, where total surplus went out, it was the entire area of the triangle between supply and demand out to a quantity of 8, you can see that our total surplus here will be smaller, right? We get this area just like we did before, but now we're missing this area here. The surplus that would have been generated by the extra 2 trades is our loss in surplus, a deadweight loss. And we can calculate that by calculating the area of that triangle. Here, our deadweight loss would be equal to 1/2 times the height of the triangle times the base of the triangle. And I can see the base of the triangle is going to be 8 minus 6, but I don't know what the height of this triangle is, right? So I need to find these 2 prices in order to find the height of the triangle and thus the loss in surplus, or the deadweight loss that results. To find these prices, you'll notice these are the points along the demand curve and along the supply curve where the quantity is 6, right? So to find these prices, we just need to take 6 and plug it into our demand equation and our supply equation. So looks like demand is 20 minus Q, right? So that price on top there, I'm going to call it PH for P high. It's going to be 20 minus our quantity of 6, which is 14. And the low price here is going to be our supply equation, 4 plus Q plus 6, which is going to give us 10, right? So we can see the marginal benefit to consumers here at the end is 14. The marginal cost to producers is 10. There are potential gains from trade that could occur for trades beyond 6, but they do not occur when we're limited to a quantity of 6, and so that generates deadweight loss. And the amount of lost surplus here is going to be at least, that's 1/2 times 2 times 4, that's equal to 4, at least $4. You can also infer from that that total surplus here is going to be 60, right? Because deadweight loss is the difference between our total surplus at the socially optimal point, market equilibrium, and total surplus here at a quantity of 6. So total surplus at Q equals 6 would have to be 4 less than our optimal total surplus. So that's going to be 60. All right. We'll practice more with calculating these areas as we go on, but the basic intuition here is that as long as people can benefit more than the cost of production, it's beneficial for society and also for individual consumers and producers to produce that product. So allowing people to trade with each other always increases efficiency because trade by definition is mutually beneficial.